You escape with your lives, but the Ivory Order has put some distance between you. All your efforts will be for naught if they reach the dragon before you do. You hurry the party onward. A deafening roar greets you as you set foot on the summit. The dragon must be close. Nice work. Congrats. You reach the caldera only to find the dragon and the Ivory Order members locked in battle. Their teamwork is impeccable. With each strike, they drive the dragon further back. Vince is doing everything he can to protect the dragon, but nothing can slow Sherwin and company's advance. The Ivory Order approaches the dragon, quite sure of their victory. They shall have their quarry at this rate. You can see the writing on the wall. You shrink away from the fight. Go on, get out there, Melanie yells, kicking you square in the rump. We'll be the ones to collect the bounty on the dragon's head, you yell. What vulgar ambition, Hedwyn says with a sneer. Hedwyn and Winifred each keep one eye on you as they begin incanting a spell to hold the dragon in place. Without warning, the dragon slams his tail against the ground. Cracks in the earth form beneath his feet. The rock beneath the Ivory Order gives way, sending them tumbling down below. You surmise the fall wasn't far enough to kill them, but they won't make it back here anytime soon. The dragon spreads his wings and flies towards the caldera. This may be your only chance to slay him without the Ivory Order interfering. Nice work. You did great. Fortune favors the bold. Let's do this. The dragon sits perched on the edge of the caldera. You eye him warily, shouting, "There's nowhere left to run." He lets loose an intimidating roar, but you and your party stand tall, unbowed. Victory is within reach. You have never felt more ready to slay a creature in your life. You draw your sword and charge, blade raised and ready to strike. In an instant, his bodyguard appears before you. You can see the bloodlust inside him as he stares you all down. He looks upon you and sees only greed. "Fools," he shouts. "You shall not be stopped. You have your reasons for wanting the dragon dead, and they are enough. They are everything. This conflict is inevitable. You heave your sword toward the enemy, come what may." You can do this. Vince falls, his face covered in blood. "Why would you give your life to protect the dragon?" Melanie asks sharply. Asks the one who has forsaken her own. "What would you know of loyalty?" Vince roars, consumed with rage. He begins chanting, no doubt preparing to cast a spell. "No, that spell is forbidden," Melanie shrieks. It's too late. A stupendously powerful magic swirls out of the ether, enveloping them both. Vince turns to face you once more, his aura unlike anything you've felt before. You tighten your grip on your sword. There's no turning back now. Vince adopts a sweeping stance between you and the dragon. You'll have to deal with him first if you hope to attack your quarry. The battle has been won. Tears stream down Vince's face. You watch him out of the corner of your eye as you turn your attention toward the dragon. Vince, undeterred by the wounds that now cover his body, rises to his feet and moves to protect the dragon one last time. Enough! The dragon speaks. He declares that he wishes to see further harm befall none. Then you ought not to have brought harm upon us, you shout, listing off the horrors you have heard on your journey. Vince, filled with righteous indignation, denounces each and every one as a lie. The dragon admits that your prowess in battle and willingness to pursue him the world over have earned you the right to hear the truth about this world. The dragon claims he shares a special bond with the medicine that helps people the world over. Everyone in the world drinks this medicine as though it were water. Taking this medicine heals all wounds and cures all ills. It is a crutch that humanity can no longer live without. The primary ingredient in this medicine is dragon tear. All those who succeeded in capturing the dragon in the past forced him to live a nightmarish existence on this island. They would stab him with several hundred spears. They would slice his scales off with their swords. Every day a fresh horror would visit him in the heart of the island, and every day he would cry out in pain. They then gathered up the dragon tear he shed and used it to produce their medicine. You cast your mind back over your travels, over all the people who sought the medicine and were saved by it. The mere thought that so much good was born of the dragon's torture makes your mind reel. You feel unmoored. No one moves, or so much as makes a sound. His words weigh on each and every one of you. The dragon claims he has grown weary of suffering for the benefit of humankind. And so, he intones, I beseech you, strike me down. You hear only hurt and fatigue in his voice. Comply, and you will fulfill the order that was given you. The riches you have coveted for so long shall be yours. But know that if you do, the medicine upon which people have come to rely shall cease to exist, threatening the very foundation upon which humanity was built. Now, knowing the tragic reality, you cannot kill this creature. Your heart filled with anguish, you lower your weapon. Out of nowhere, a burst of magic crashes over the entire party, rendering you unable to move. The Ivory Order have found their way back to the caldera and stand before the dragon once more. Sherwin stares the dragon down, fire in his eyes. At last, the world is safe, he says. Seize him at once, Edwin urges. With a nod, Sherwin approaches the dragon. In one motion, Sherwin unsheathes his sword and cleaves the dragon in two. The dragon's lifeless corpse lurches backward before dropping over the edge into the caldera. What have you done? The others ask quietly, unable to comprehend Sherwin's actions. The earth shakes. The dragon's body seems to have energized the lava enough to spur an eruption. All that remains is to destroy that place, he hisses, and storms off with purpose. The remaining members of the Ivory Order are still in shock, but Hedwyn orders them out, and they flee out of sight. The volcano is about to erupt, and will surely take you with it. Melanie suggests the party take Vince as well, but he insists he remain here. He speaks his final request, his voice already fading. Dragon Tear is more powerful than you can imagine, he says, his voice weak and raspy. It could end this world. You mustn't let them use it. Stop them at all costs. Use the forbidden magic if you have to, Melanie. Vince's final pronouncement echoing in your head. you race to catch up to the Ivory Order. The eruption is imminent. The earlier tremors collapsed the passage you took to reach the caldera. Follow the other passage out and escape before it's too late. Excellent. Excellent. Nice work. Did great. Don't hold back. Take your time. There's no need to rush yet. Don't hold back. About the enemy. work. I was lucky. You're nearly out. The relief of knowing you may yet outrun the encroaching lava is immense. And short-lived, as monsters burst forth from the lava, blocking your escape. Rout the enemy. You race out of the volcano, the monsters scarcely having hit the ground behind you. After your narrow escape from the volcano, you mull over what you learned at the summit. The truth about the dragon and the medicine, what the Ivory Order and Sherwin are actually after. And Vince's dying warning about Dragon Tear destroying the world. You decide to return to the village of the sick to try and make sense of everything. "I'm exhausted," says Riddis. "She certainly looks it." Bruno is silent and looks deep in thought. As you head into the village after your friends, another headache splits your skull. This place. Something about it is triggering a memory that feels like it's trying to claw its way out of your brain. "Let's rest up at the inn," suggests Melanie, taking in everyone's state. At dinner time, you and your friends gather around the table. For a while it's quiet, but then Melanie speaks up. "Now that the dragon's been defeated," she says, "what are we going to do?" In truth, the Ivory Order wanted to capture the dragon alive, but Sherwin killed him. You can't help feeling the Ivory Order is still hiding something about this island, the dragon and the medicine. "We might want to look into this island a bit more," suggests Melanie. Bruno agrees with you. They call this place Mount Medica. Something tells me there are still secrets to uncover. Whether you go after the Ivory Order or investigate the island, first and foremost, you need information. The Overseer should be pretty knowledgeable about the island, reasons Melanie. You decide to pay a visit to the Overseer after a good night's rest. Selfor, the village headman come overseer, comes out to welcome you. After detailing what happened atop the volcano, you ask him to tell you everything he knows about this island. "So, the dragon's tears are the medicine's main ingredient," he muses. You ask Selfor what the deal with this island is. After a moment, he begins speaking in a quiet voice. He tells you about the medicine factory here on the island that the Ivory Order oversees, and that this village was founded in order to provide a steady supply of human test subjects for their new medicine. Now that you know the truth about the island and the village, you turn to Selfor and pose further questions. Probing further, you ask, "And the Ivory Order forced the dragon to make medicine at that factory?" "I'm almost positive they did," he replies. "That explains why the Order wanted to capture him," says Bruno, understanding dawning on his face. "But if that's the case, why did Sherwin flout the Order and kill the dragon? you're still missing the final piece of this puzzle. What do you mean, testing new medicine, you ask? Silphor explains that before the Ivory Order sends any of its medicines out to the greater world, they test them here first. With all the new medicines they're constantly prescribed, the villagers here suffer strange side effects. All except Silphor, who says he's exempt from the tests on account of being in charge of the village on the Order's behalf. Sometimes we get people who try to escape, he says, his gaze dropping. The Order always catches them. This is horrible, says Melanie, a harrowed look on her face. You know the abandoned house at the western edge of the village? Well, once upon a time, a family of 4 lived there. As Silphor speaks, you feel all the blood drain from your body. There's something I'd like to see for myself in that house, you say, your brow creased. At the uncharacteristically somber look on your face, Melanie, Ritus, and Bruno give silent nods. You stand before the dilapidated house. It looks like no one's lived here for a long, long time. You open the door and go inside, your gaze roving across the dusty space. Your eyes land on a progression of horizontal notches on the lower section of a support beam, markings to measure a child's growth. And carved into the beam beside the markings are your and Mars' names. Seeing your names unleashes a flood of memories you hadn't realized you'd kept locked away. trauma of what happened, combined with the effects of the medicine, spurred the loss of your memories. But now you remember the horror in full detail. Sobbing, you gather Mar in your arms. Melanie, Riddis, and Bruno just stand there in silence, absorbing the truth of your origins. Melanie, who knows all too well the pain of losing your parents, turns to you with tears on her cheeks. We have a lot in common, you and I. That's how we've made it this far together, she says softly. Moved by her kindness, you give her a silent nod. But I've still got farther to go, you say, scrubbing your face dry. As painful as those memories are, something the Ivory Order disciples said gave you hope. If you can get your hands on an undiluted solution of dragon tear, you can restore Mar to her human form. And what was that about the place they called the mausoleum? That's probably a good enough place as any to start looking for dragon tear. Melanie doesn't miss the determination that blooms on your face. Whatever it is you need to do, she says, I'm with you. You ask Silfor if he's ever heard of a place called the Mausoleum. He tells you the steep cliffs north of the village block the way. To get to the Mausoleum, you'll have to go around. He advises you to first go east and then head north from the wharf. The wharf, that's where we first docked, right? Clarifies Bruno. Ooh, the path to the Mausoleum is a long one. If you start feeling weary on your journey, use the jump feature to return to the village.